Our second new OHI Service Award is the Dilboy Service Award, named after the first Greek American to receive the highest award for valor, the Medal of Honor, George Dilboy. Here to introduce the first recipient is OHI Day Foundation Advisory Board member and founder of Marcus and Millichap, George Marcus.
I'm glad to be here as part of tonight's celebration, the 80th anniversary of OHI Day. Fantastic. The remarkable courage that the Greek people showed 80 years ago today, and the inspiration and hope they spread around the world is needed now more than ever. This year, the foundation has instituted the Dilboy Service Award, named after George, great first name, Dilboy, first Greek American to receive America's highest and most prestigious military decoration for valor, the Medal of Honor. Dilboy fought for Greece in the Balkan Wars and for the U.S. in World War I. Before turning 22, Dilboy had fought in 4 wars in 3 continents. Totally amazing. I am proud to introduce tonight the first recipient of the Dilboy Service Award, my fellow San Franciscan, an area native and a World War II veteran, Andrew Mussolimas. Mussolimas was one of the 200 volunteers to join the Office of Strategic Services, or OSS, which was the forerunner of the CIA and the Green Berets. His group, which had 90% casualty rate, secretly parachuted behind enemy lines into occupied Greece. They destroyed infrastructure and pinned down, imagine this, 32 crack German divisions that otherwise would have been sent to France to stop the Allied invasion on D-Day. While their exploits were kept secret in the US for more than 50 years after the war ended, Hitler knew them well. On October 18, 1942, he issued his infamous Führer Order, which decreed that all OSS members, whether armed or unarmed, are to be slaughtered to the last man. In 2018, Mussolimas received the highest civil honor bestowed by the U.S. Congress, the Congressional Gold Medal. Its first recipient was George Washington in 1776, and only 135 others have received it, including Winston Churchill and Mother Teresa. His gold medal stated, his work in OSS resulted in some of the bravest acts of the war and forever changed the course of history. Remarkable. Sadly, Mr. Mussolimas passed away in May of this year at the age of 95. However, tonight we are honored to have with us to accept his award for him, his 8 grandchildren. Congratulations to the Mussolimas family on his prestigious award. Now please enjoy the following tribute to the 2020 Dilboy Service Award recipient, Andrew Mussolimas.
You wouldn't know it to look at him, but this mild-mannered gentleman was a top-secret commando who blew up bridges and gathered intelligence on the enemy during World War II. Meet...
My name's Andrew Sam Mussolimas. I'm from Oakland, California.
Andy, as he's known, worked for the forerunner to the CIA, back then called the OSS.
Well, we didn't know the OSS from SOS.
The OSS stands for Office of Strategic Services, a group so shadowy even Uncle Sam didn't admit to it.
The government wouldn't even acknowledge that you were in the war?
No, VA wouldn't acknowledge it. People thought I was lying.
Andy is 93, but was only 18 when he and his buddies, Perry and Alex, the Phillips brothers from Oakland, enlisted.
When you're that young, you think you're infallible. You know, you're going to go, you're going to kick butt, and you know.
But what the boys signed up for had a high casualty rate, 90%. They played the odds and joined the little-known OSS so they wouldn't be split up.
This way, we'll be together.
These 3 young guys from West Oakland were sons of immigrants who could blend in. The mission of the OSS, infiltrate Nazi enemy lines in occupied Italy, Yugoslavia, and Greece. In other words, wreak havoc.
And was hit and run.
For that, Hitler put a hit on them, the edict, shoot on sight. Andy says a group of his fellow OSS Italian-American buddies were sold out by the fascists.
Turned them over to the Nazis, and all 16 of them were executed.
While Andy, Perry, and Alex were wounded in Greece, they were never turned in by the villagers.
Always be thankful for that.
Proud to wear the ball cap, he's considered the granddad of Special Forces. Andy Mussolimas may be a war hero, but he hates war. Humble, but not shy. He also ran the well-known bar and restaurant King's X for years. Andy even co-founded the first fantasy football league.
Fantasy football and internet. Probably the best marriage in America.
It takes a lot to impress Andy, but being awarded the Congressional Medal of Honor is pretty special. And when Harrison Ford personally congratulated him, that was something.
Probably the only guy in Hollywood that knows the OSS.
It may be because Ford's alter ego, Indiana Jones, was reportedly also a member of the top-secret OSS.
See this down here?
Up until recently, all of Andy's escapades have been confidential. The files only finally unsealed in 1987. Andy's neighborhood pal, Perry, never lived to see that day.
Did it pain your dad?
Very much so, yeah.
But his daughter, Frosine, was proud to represent her father at the medal ceremony in D.C. and share stories of the young soldier's valor and adventures. Many, if not most, of those who fought alongside have long since passed away. You can bet if Andy Mussolimas has anything to say about it, it won't ever be forgotten.
Good evening, and thank you to the Washington Ohi Day Foundation and Mr. George Marcus for such a beautiful tribute and honor to our Papu, Andrew Sam Mussolimas.
We also congratulate the special occasion of the Washington Ohi Day Foundation's 10th anniversary and the 80th anniversary of Ohi Day. We applaud tonight's treasured recipients and thank our global viewing audience.
It is a great honor for our family to accept this prestigious first Dilboy Service Award in memory of our beloved grandfather. We affectionately called him Papu Opa, a fitting name for a man with a giant personality and amazing life from Oakland, California.
Our Papu and dynamic Yaya, Mary Kumarales Mussolimas, had 5 children, 7 grandchildren, and 2 great-grandchildren, with a third on the way. Their legacy lives on through us, as well as through Andy's published memoirs of World War II.
Like Mr. Dilboy, who also served in the U.S. Army, Papu Opa's service in its Office of Strategic Services Greek Battalion was recognized after 75 years with the Congressional Gold Medal in 2018.
While we heard stories through the years and are incredibly grateful for this award, the one piece of advice our Papu always impressed upon us was to never glorify war.
Thank you, Washington Ohi Day Foundation.
Thank you and congratulations.